What's up everyone, I'm Jacob, also known as Jonesy, and in this video I'm going to share my thoughts on the indie trading card game Wildhearts. The premise of Wildhearts is each player is a tamer with animal familiars and allies who try to gain control of 3 fields. At the end of each round, you earn victory points if you have the most power in a given field. The player wins by reaching 20 victory points, or by having the most VP at the end of the 4th round. Now there are a few things I find really interesting about Wildhearts gameplay. The first is the resource system. Every main deck card can be played as a resource, and you can only play 1 resource a turn, similar to other games, but in Wildhearts, every player also starts the game with 1 free resource, which means you have 2 resources for your first round. The second interesting thing is Wildhearts does not have traditional turns, but instead uses alternating activations, where players go back and forth either playing a card or using a special card effect. The first player to finish taking activations in the round will gain the initiative and have the first activation for the next round. Players also draw more than 1 card every turn, with the initiative holder drawing 3 cards, and every other player drawing 2. The unique gameplay is what initially drew me to Wildhearts, and I did make a couple gameplay videos with earlier versions of the game's Tabletopia mod, but I lost a lot of interest in Wildhearts because of their first Kickstarter campaign, which was for an RPG based on the Wildhearts world. That campaign, in my opinion, was terribly run. The main problem that I had with it was there was hardly information revealed about not only the game's mechanics and how to play the game, there's also barely any info on the world and lore behind the game. As a result, that campaign did not generate any interest. After that campaign was cancelled, there was a town hall voice call in the Wildhearts Discord, and some of the responses from the Wildhearts team left me really disappointed. But they learned from their mistakes. Not only was their second Kickstarter for the TCG starter decks fully funded, but it was run much better than their previous campaign. They also had a successful campaign for a deck building game, Wildhearts Academy, which I have not gotten a chance to look into yet. But their next Kickstarter is going to be for the TCG's first core set, and it's scheduled to launch on October 14th. The card reveals have started for the core set, but the most important news as part of those reveals is a release schedule, because the core set is going to be released in smaller series. The Kickstarter's Series 0 is going to have 90 cards, 20 for each of the 4 styles and 10 fields. But the next 6 series are only going to have 22 cards, and those are going to be released in 2-month intervals starting in January. I am not sold on this release schedule. On a positive note, when it comes to TCGs, I'm first a player and not a collector. In these smaller series, it sounds like it will be much easier to acquire specific cards, especially because for a full playset in Wildhearts, you only need 1 of every familiar in field and 2 of every main deck card. However, I am worried that a 2-month release interval will be too fast. The change I hate the most about Pokemon TCG Pocket is the release of a new booster pack every single month. And while the Wildhearts schedule does not seem nearly as bad, especially with 22 card series, I'm still skeptical to see not only how it will affect gameplay, but how other players will react to it. I know Fantastic Feasts, the 4th set for a different indie trading card game Nostalgics, is also going to be released in smaller series called courses to fit the food theme. But the schedule for those courses has not been revealed yet. So it is going to be really interesting seeing how Wildhearts' release schedule works out, and seeing if more indie trading card games begin releasing their sets in smaller series too. So, overall, do I think Wildhearts is going to be the next big breakout TCG? I don't know. But, with Wildhearts having so many unique things about it, it is definitely a game to keep your eye on. But what do you think about Wildhearts? Leave a comment to let me know, and I will see you in the next video.